What's up again, everybody? It's day 3 of Uprising spoiler season. Today's the day where I put my spoiler out into the world. So let's take a look back at day 2's spoilers. I was supposed to get this video done and up like last night so that you could watch it in the morning or, when it uploads or whatever. But instead I watched Stranger Things. I watched a ton of episodes of Stranger Things. It kind of got in the way, but you know what? Good television just does that sometimes. It interrupted the content stream. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed watching Stranger Things. But now that that's out of the way, nothing's gonna get in the way. I'm totally focused on these spoilers and making videos. Oh, you know what? I gotta watch Kenobi, actually. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about these spoilers from yesterday. There's a lot of them, so I'm gonna go kind of quick, but I'll share my thoughts on a few of them as we go. First of all, we know what's up with Fi Rising Rebellion, new Draconic Ninja hero, 4 intellect, 40 health. You can start the game with a Phoenix Flame in your graveyard. We'll talk about what that means here in a moment. Once per turn instant, pay 3, like Kano, return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard into your hand. This ability costs 1 less for each Draconic chain link you control. So if you go like Draconic Attack, this all of a sudden costs 1. You can pay 1, and then you can grab the Phoenix Flame from your graveyard, and then you can put it in your hand, and then you can come in with a Phoenix Flame. What is a Phoenix Flame? Well, there it is. Phoenix Flame costs nothing. It defends for nothing. A player can add up to 3 Phoenix Flames to their deck in Uprising Limited, which is very cool because now you don't have to draft these. You just get 3 of them. And it also says this: if you control 2 or more Draconic chain links, Phoenix Flame has +1 attack. Now this, and it says, of course, go again. Now this costs nothing, but it also attacks for nothing. So you do have to play these Phoenix Flames after 2 or more Draconic chain links, or you have to provide some buff from another location, or technically you could just throw this out there and threaten like Razor Reflex on top of this, which is kind of hilarious. But essentially what this is allowing you to do with Fi, and of course starting the game with one of these in your graveyard, means that you can go 2 Draconic attacks and not break the chain, and then pay 1 resource, go and get a Phoenix Flame, and then play it for free, and it attacks for 1. So it's like a Kodachi in that way, which is kind of cool. Plus it can also take buffs. You can like Minnowism on top of this, like before the chain link starts, and then like string things together until you get to this point, and then play Phoenix Flame for a buff. There's a variety of ways that you can buff it, and there's some really cool interactions with Phoenix Flames as well. Plus you can also just use this once per turn instant for free. Like you can just do 3 chain links and then grab this and then play it for free. I mean, it's a once per turn instant, costs 0. It's pretty sick. Pretty cool little thing, and it's going to allow you to go very wide, and this is again why Stubby Hammerers was banned. It is exactly for this. Heat Wave is a cool equipment piece because it allows you at instant speed to go and like just buff all of your Phoenix Flames. So if you have like 3 of them, you have access to 3 of them, one of them being in your graveyard, you could go grab that one and then the other 2 in your hand. You can buff all of them by 1, which is pretty cool. Also, it has access to Quell, and Quell, of course, we talked about that in the previous video. If your hero would be dealt any type of damage, you can pay a resource to prevent 1 of that damage, and this will destroy at the end of the turn, at the beginning of the end phase, so you can trigger Quell multiple times. On multiple forms of like wide damage, which is pretty cool. So I really like the effect of Quell because it doesn't just stick for arcane damage, it doesn't just stick for physical damage, it allows you some flexibility there. A very cool like keyword and cool equipment. Phoenix Form is a Draconic Ninja action attack that attacks for 3, it costs nothing, it blocks for 3, and it says if you control 1 or more Phoenix Flames, this gets go again. Okay, so in other words, if you string a Phoenix Flame into Phoenix Form, then this is a 3 with go again. If you don't do that, this is just a 3 with no go again. If you control 2 or more Phoenix Flames, I would imagine this means on your combat chain, then this has +2. So now it's a 5 for 0 with go again. And then if you control 3 or more, which is like just choice, very hard to string and set up, of course, because that's all 3 in your deck. Well, it says when this hits a hero, you just draw 3 cards. Hey, you remember that card called Spring Tidings? It's that effect. It's just a guaranteed 3 instead of like 4 or 5, but it's that effect. You remember that card called Swarming Gloomveil? This is Ninja Swarming Gloomveil, which is just crazy when you think about it. It's a really good card, and this is a Majestic, and you're going to jam a bunch of these in your decks. And look at that Cool's border. Man, that border looks awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, this card's really good. This is the Swarming Gloom Veil of the set, and it's just gonna be that valuable from the drop. Rise from the Ashes. It's the background that I used. Look, it's the background. Rise from the Ashes costs 0. It is a ninja action. It is a 2-block because it is a ninja action. It says the next Draconic or Ninja attack action card you play this turn gets +3. Which is pretty good because it allows you to buff your own ninja things, it allows you to buff your draconic things, and of course buffs draconic ninja things as well. The fact that the buff falls on normal ninja cards is a really big plus to this card. Keep that in mind. If you are constructing a deck in Classic Constructed or Blitz for Fi, you can play normal ninja cards and then play Rise from the Ashes on a specific turn and buff a normal ninja card. That's really good. You can also return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand by just playing this. So you start your combat chain, or you start your turn, I should say, with this so it doesn't break the combat chain. It gives a buff, buffs just about anything that you could possibly play, and then it also grabs you the Phoenix Flames. This is a really good setup card. It's honestly a really good card too. And this is in a cycle as well. This is a rare, and so this red, of course, that you'll play a lot of because we're red cards, will buff for 3, and then the yellow for 2, and the blue for 1, which is solid. It's just a really solid card. Stoke the Flames, incredible art. Look at that art, it's so good. Cost 1. This is a Draconic action attack. It attacks for 4, it blocks for 3, and it says when Stoke the Flames hits, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. If you do, Stoke the Flames gains go again. So it's a pretty decent card. It's a 1 for 4. It requires a couple of things for setup. It doesn't have natural go again, so this is something that you're kind of wary to play in the middle of a combat chain unless you've already pulled cards out of your opponent's hand or you have a way to buff it, like a Razor Reflex type thing. If you don't have those set up, then your opponent has the capability of stopping you from getting this go again. In addition to just having this hit for the go again, you also have to be able to pull a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. If you don't have that effect, then you can't give this go again. So there's 2 points of setup for this to actually gain go again, and that does pull its power level down a bit. Keep that in mind. It also costs 1 as well, and so you're going to be dedicating resources to this alongside of, you know, like the possibility of it not getting go again. There's a lot to think about with this card, but if it just pushes for 4, like a 1 for 4, it's a good in limited formats. Keep that in mind. Rise Up is a rare. It's a Draconic action attack. This one's really cool. It costs 1 as well. It blocks for 3. It attacks for 3. This, just like the card I think I put next in the timeline, Dromai or Phi specialization. They're both specializations. You can play this in Dromai. You can play this in Phi. I think that is so incredible, and I'm really hoping. I saw this suggested by someone. I can't remember who said it, but I'm really hoping that they have the secret alternate art of like the other hero in the set to be discovered. Like, this is a picture of Phi, right? But what if, because it's a Dromai or Phi specialization, what if they have a secret like version of this that also has Dromai as the main character on the art? I think that'd be really cool. This has the keyword Rupture, and Rupture is a keyword that says if Rise Up, or if any card is played as Chainlink 4 or higher, then this has, the effect is triggered basically. That's Rupture. But in this case, if Rise Up is played as Chainlink 4 or higher, it has Dominate, and then plus X, where X is twice the number of Phoenix Flames you control. So in other words, if you play 1 Phoenix Flame, this gains Dominate and plus 2. Okay, which is pretty cool because it's a 5 Dominate for 1. That's not bad. If you put 2 with this, which I think is like where you want to target, this gets plus 4 and Dominate. For a ninja, that's like just a straight, I mean, it's more setup, of course, but it's like a way better version, a way better version of Flying Kick. Because it's like a 1 for 7 with Dominate, and that's a 2 for 7. But the setup here is definitely big. Now, if you ever live in magical fairyland, and you put all 3 Phoenix Flames on the board and then play Rise Up, and again, this is like fairy tale magic land where you land all the pieces of Exodia come together. This gets plus 6 and Dominate for a ninja. So of course you have to like go like 1 attack and then Phoenix Flame, Phoenix Flame, Phoenix Flame, and then 9 Dominate. That's so stupid. I love that. That's awesome. Flameborn Retribution, cost 1, it attacks for 3, it blocks for 2. This was a really fun video. I should stop and say this. If you're not watching the videos and the spoiler articles and the posts that people are making to spoil these, you are doing yourself and the people who work really hard a disservice. Because all of these spoilers, like this video, all of these spoilers have been really fun to watch. And it's been really fun to see the passion of the different content creators as they spoil their cards. So 1000% go watch the videos, okay? And including this one. This one was a good one. Flameborn Retribution, cost 1. It attacks for 3. It blocks for 2. It says, when you defend with Flameborn Retribution. Good lord, when you defend with Flameborn Retribution. I can speak. We did it. If you've been dealt damage this turn, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand and go again. So in other words, we have a decent attack. I mean, it's not great. It's not wonderful, but it's a decent attack. It's a 1 for 3. Normally you wouldn't play a 1 for 3, especially when it blocks 2, right? Unless it's setting up for like a combo. That's kind of what you would do in like like a leg tap type thing. Even though leg tap was 1 for 4, right? But this has the upside not in the attack, but in the defense. In the instance that, like, okay, so I've taken some damage on one attack. Now I'm going to block with Flameborn Retribution and just go get a card. Basically, it's a card that replaces itself. And not only that, in a way, it replaces itself and upgrades itself, because Flameborn Retribution, being a 1 for 3, turns into a combo piece from the graveyard in Phoenix Flame into your hand. So the card replaces itself, but technically it's a 0 for 0, unless you go wide. But it's a Phoenix Flame that like sets up other things. Like, I mean, we just talked about how crazy it is to just have Phoenix Flames on a Rise Up turn. It's the same thing here. You're basically fetching a combo piece with this card. And so it's a really cool way to fetch a combo piece. I like this card a lot. Even though on the base level it's like an underpowered card, it has the combo potential. Inflame costs 0. It's a 1 for 0. It attacks for 1, but blocks for 2. It says, when you attack with Inflame, if you've played another red card this turn, you may return a Phoenix Flame from your graveyard to your hand. This is literally just another setup card, and it's a good setup card at that. This is a Kodachi. Now, it's costing you a card, and that's bad. It's a Kodachi that you have to follow up with a red card first, but it fetches you, again, a combo piece, and that's really powerful. Just like these two past cards, it fetches you a combo piece. And again, I just want to point this out. Red card, red card, red card, red card. I could keep going back, but that would just waste time. There's lots of red cards. Everything we've seen thus far is a red card except for one piece of equipment. And so it's not that terrible of a setup. You play one red attack, you follow up with Inflame, you go get a Phoenix Flame, you play the Phoenix Flame, and then you come in with something big, right? There's lots of ways to go wide here, so maybe something with Rupture. Speaking of Rupture, Liquify is horrifying to look at. It's horrifying. I can't put this on the screen for too long, but it is an attack reaction, which is really cool. Cost 1, it blocks for 2, as many attack reactions do. And it says Rupture if Liquify is played at chain link 4 or higher. So again, this is an attack reaction, so you have to react onto chain link number 4 or higher. Target attack action card gains. When this hits a hero, put a -1 counter on an equipment they control. Then if it has 0, destroy it. Okay, a couple of things. If you put a -1 counter on a 0 block equipment, it is still 0 block and it is destroyed by the effect on Liquify. Just keep that in mind. Now think of all of the equipment that you could possibly destroy with this. Anything with 1 block or 0 block is automatically blown up with Liquify. This card is so crazy. It's a really scary attack. It makes you rethink all of your equipment choices at the beginning of the game, or even if you like just stick with like your Crown of Seeds. This is my bread and butter. I have to have Crown of Seeds. If they get an early Liquify on you, oh, it makes you feel so bad. You just lose. Oh, it's so gross. This is a good card. It's also horrifying to look at, so we're moving on. Burn Them All. This was technically on like 2 days ago's evening spoiler. I apologize, Kel. This was Red Zone Rogue spoiler card, and it is a really cool looking card. I freaked out when I saw this because it costs 0, it blocks for 3. It is an aura, so it stays in the field, and it has Go Again on it. It's a majestic, and this is a really cool Ultimate Pit Fight card because once per turn, when a dragon you control attacks, it deals 1 arcane damage to each opposing hero. Now this is a Draconic Illusionist, action. Everything before this we've talked about is either a Draconic card or a Draconic Ninja card. So now we're going into the spoilers that are Illusionist that we saw yesterday. So this one, it allows you to attack with a dragon and then deal 1 arcane damage to everything. Look, okay, I built a, I don't even know if I have it on my desk anymore. I built a chain deck that just full boarded the, why'd I blank on the name? Dimensional Gateway? I think it was Dimensional Crossroad? No, Gateway. Dimensional Gateway did this effect. It is so much fun. This deals damage to everybody. You just play this down and attack with dragon, attack with dragon. It was so good. This will make everybody at the table hurt, like just hate you. You will not play this and live, but it's so fun. This is awesome. At the beginning of your end phase, put a raise counter on Burn Them All, then destroy it unless you banish a red card from the graveyard for each raise counter on this. Yeah, this is going to get some value, and it's also going to make you some enemies on the table. Do you play this in 1 versus 1 like Constructed or Blitz? Possibly. You know what? I think I'm going to go with yes. I think you do, because if you're playing like Control and you're blocking with your red cards and you're kind of loading up your graveyard and then you just slam down and burn them all, this just sits out there and allows you to just basically put them on a clock until you run out of red cards. Or play for your second cycle and then it just gets removed eventually. It's a pretty cool card. I really like that card. All right, Dragon time. Invoke Dracona Optimi. This is a really cool dragon that costs 6 to play. We already knew this card existed. We just didn't know what the other side did. I'm curious. Okay, so if you didn't know, these cards, and it says it right there on the card. No, it doesn't say it on this one, does it? Oh, that's interesting. It says it on one of the next ones. Legendary. So first of all, you can only have 1 Invoke Dracona Optimi in your deck. And then transform target Ash you control into Dracona Optimi. Go again. This is the Dragon of Devastation, said to serve only the Aesir of Flames, which is, apparently, the lore says, an Aesir is the great dragon of Volkor that is literally inside the mountain, and Dracona Optimi serves that. There was some update on the lore, which is really interesting, and this speaks to a little bit of that update. Nevertheless, this costs you 6 to play. It does block for 3, but when you actually invoke Dracona Optimi, you get Dracona Optimi as a 6/6. It has 6 power, it has 6 health, and it says whenever Dracona Optimi attacks a hero, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. He deals arcane damage equal to twice the number of red cards revealed this way to them or to an ally they control. So in other words, you attack with Dracona Optimi, and if you didn't see yesterday's video, how to attack, it's basically going to cost you 0 if you use the common equipment. You attack with Dracona Optimi, you reveal 3 cards. If they're all red, then it's going to deal 2, 4, 6 damage. 6 damage. 6 damage. It's going to deal that much damage to your opponent, or it could deal it to, you know, like an ally that they control, which is pretty good. You reveal 2, it does 4. That is a solid thing. This is a 6 attack, and it's pushing arcane damage that they have to deal with as well. Very scary card. I love this card. I love Tomeltai. Tomeltai, this is the best art. This art is so good. It is incredible. Invoke Tomeltai is another majestic. It's another legendary dragon. It blocks for 3. It costs 5. And it's a legendary. You can only have 1 of these in your deck. You do the same thing. You play it out, you pay 5, and then you turn it over. So the front of the card looks like that. The back of the card technically doesn't look like this. This is the special, like, Marvel, I think is what the Marvel version. And it says, whenever you attack with this 5/5 creature, this 5/5 dragon ally, then reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. If 1 or more are red cards, then you put -1 counters on an equipment that they control and then destroy it. So basically, you just throw -1s wherever you like onto an equipment, right? Which is crazy, and then you blow it up. So this blows up equipment as well. I love this equipment hate. This is so good. It makes me so much happier to know that like Crown of Seeds is just gonna get tanked. People are just gonna blow up so many Crown of Seeds with all these equipment destruction cards. Plus this one, I'm not kidding. This is my favorite dragon art. I've never seen a dragon art I like better than this one. I think it's the Fire Chest. Send me dragon pictures. Go into my Discord and send me the coolest pictures of dragons you've ever seen, because I think for me this is the coolest picture, dragon picture I've ever seen. Yep, yeah, it is. It's mine. All right, so now we get to talk about something very interesting. Okay, first of all, this actually describes the invocations. This is what I was talking about. Invoke, what is it? Kyloria, however you want to say it. It costs 1. So first of all, that's a really good stat line, costing 1. And look at what you get. You get a 4/2 out of it. That's pretty good. Okay, you get 4 power to attack when you invoke Kyloria. But I don't even care about, like, just up front, I don't even care about the 4/2. I want to talk about this at the bottom. It says this: the Dragon of Greed, said to dwell in her deep lair beneath the pits. Okay, stop. This is not a dragon from Volcor. This is not a dragon from Volcor. This is a dragon from the pits. Are you following? This is not a dragon from Volcor. This is an actual dragon from another region. That means there's dragons in other regions of the game. That is insane. That, when I saw that, my god, it's so good. Anyway, so let's talk about the dragon. It's a 4/2. It says whenever it hits a hero, gain control of an item they control. If you don't gain control of an item this way, draw a card. So this is upside either way. You get upside if you take an item, energy potion. The most played item is energy potion, probably. Nowadays, you could probably run any of the trinkets. And heck, if you're playing in this meta with all these red decks, maybe it's the talisman that I didn't get enough cold foils of before it spiked ridiculously. What is it called? The one that, Recompense? Talisman of Recompense? Is that the one? It's Recompense, but I can't remember if it's a talisman or an amulet or the other thing. Anyway, you could take that one. That one might get a lot of play. If you don't take anything, let's say your opponent doesn't run any of those, and you just kind of jam this out there, this just gets you a card. That is really good. This is a really good dragon as well. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this one. I'm also a big fan of this one. Okay, so if the last one was from the pits, this one has to be from, what, Aria? This one has to be from Aria, right? Invoke Asvali, costs 0, transform it, and of course this is that Marvel where you can see this, the purple triangle at the bottom. Costs 0, transform it into Asvali, and you get a 2/3. A 2/3 for 0, that's pretty solid. When you attack with this, you can have him deal 1 arcane up to any 2 targets. So you can pop the opponent twice. I think it's split damage too. It's not one source, it's 1 arcane and then 1 arcane, I believe it's that way. Or then you can go 1 arcane to the hero that you're playing against, and then 1 to, like, one of their allies or something like that. That seems pretty cool. I like this one as well. Now, if the arcane damage targets a Spectra, like a spectral, like a Spectra anything, does it pop it? I'd have to look at Spectra. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I can't recall that. Either way, the fact that you can split the damage is really cool, and it also has implications for UPF as well, because then you can split it up to 2 different enemies, which means you can play a little bit more politically, which is great. This card's really cool. This one's really cool too. Invoke Uvia. Where would this one be from? Okay, so if this last one was from Aria, where would this one be from? Oh, man. I have no clue. Sound off in the comments. Tell me where this dragon is from. Transform target Ash you control into Uvia. It costs 2. And then I didn't put the other one up there. Look, let me go get the video. Oh, girl, let me go get it. Boom, I fixed it. I did it. I fixed it. Look at me go. Uvia is a 1/6, which is a crazy cool stat line. Again, I think you're paying 2 for this. At the start of your turn, whenever Uvia enters the arena, transform up to 1 Ash you control into an Aether Ashwing. So this is literally a dragon that is a mother of dragons. Am I allowed to say that without getting this, like, taken down for, like, copyright infringement? It's a dragon that is a mother to other dragons and just births other dragons, which is so cool. I love that. This is a really cool one. So it's both at the start of your turn, you get another dragon, if it's still alive, or when it enters the arena. So you're always getting value off of this, to the tune of 1 Aether Ashwing, which is a 1/1 that has Arcane Barrier. You could also get value over time if your opponent doesn't, like, target this down, and it does does attack for 1, so it's not it's not providing, like, huge an attack threat to your opponent, so this could stick for a few turns. But we've seen what happens when you have an Illusionist gain incremental value over time with Prism, and it's not good. It's just not good. And if all of them are one attack like things, think of it like playing against blue Prism, like with all the auras, right? It's the same thing with this. That's a crazy card. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entirety of the spoilers from yesterday. There were a bunch of spoilers from yesterday. Let's turn that one off and look at Fi. There were a bunch, and all of these were really cool. And if you didn't watch any of the videos, I'm going to say it time and time again, go watch the videos of the people that spoiled these cards and support them. Support the content creators that put these out there. And thank you, LSS, for all of us getting to enjoy this spoiler season. My spoiler goes live tonight in like 5 hours. So if you want to watch that, and in fact, I organized it to where it's going to be a spoiler that I post, and then it's going to go to Steel Fur Speaks, and then it's going to go from Steel Fur to Dice Commando, and then it's going to go from Dice Commando to the legendary reveal from Arsenal Pass. I don't know what any of their cards are, but I thought it would be cool if we went boom, 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 boom. So if you start watching on my video, it will link you to the next one, which will go to the next one, which will go to Arsenal Pass's final video. And it's going to be so hype. So if you want to come hang out with us and watch through those spoiler videos, do it tonight at 5:20 Central, I think is when mine starts, 5:20 Central. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to make that number, wait, where is it? There it is. That number go to the other number. As always, thanks for watching.